is 22, which is what you'd expect in the middle of summer. 1240 is the first race. It's a maiden plate over 1,400 meters. 1, 6, and 12 are your primary contenders. King of Spin, who got a figure of 83, which was a good effort given that he was drawn 13 out of 16. At 12, Filante has run figures in the mid-80s at its last two starts, albeit at Durbanville. So let's see if that form translates to Kenilworth, and that's after an 81-day layoff and a switch in stables from Snaith to McLaughlin. And Spelling Bee is drawn out a bit wide, comes back after a gelding, and on its second start of its career behind Magic Verse, arguably has the best form in the race. So 1, 6, and 12 in race 1. The second, the maiden plate, is also over 1,400 meters. 9, 6, 8, and 11 are the main contenders. Charlene looks interesting. Has run figures of 82 and 85. Ice Rain's best is around 80. Rocking Peony ran on well behind Niall the Boss, though that might have been a slow or false run race. I'm not sure what to make of that form. 11 Sun Spectacular has, for the most part, been pretty consistent, other than that occasion when the jockey fell off after the stirrup broke early in October. There are a couple of lightly raced, unexposed types who may shine up. I'm thinking of Ugug and Lucky 13, even Kosuke. But 9, 6, 8, and 11 are definitely the ones to focus on in the first leg of the bipod. Then in the third race, TA leg 1, you've got a ready-made banker here. Lightning Glow, a figure of 83 last time behind Dasguta, was outfought, but nevertheless ran well. Has been gelded since then and off track for 3 months, but really ought to be good enough to win this. Voorlopiki and Mr. Belvedere have got speed figures of 82 and 79 respectively, but no great shakes with the finishing fractions, so Lightning Glow, assuming he's fit, is preferred. Race 4, the Turf Talk Syndicate Class 3 over 1,600 meters. 9 and 5, then 4 and 8. That's the short answer. 9 is Rosh Kadesh, who should enjoy an easy run mile. There's no obvious speed here, and he's got a projected figure in the high 90s on my ratings. And if Craig Zaki can work out a good trip from draw 9, then Rosh Kadesh does have a slight edge at the weights compared to Prometeur, based on an earlier clash. That said, Prometeur was very impressive at its last start. Good speed figure, strong come-home sectional in a higher class race. So huge respect for Prometeur. On back form, Future Prince would have to be taken seriously, and Kingdom of Heaven is another one with decent credentials, comes in here carrying 54. Race 5. This is a class 4 over 1,600 meters. Prevalence. Sure, we've exhausted our options with this. Give you the green light gelding. Remains a one-time winner from 12 starts, just 1 second and 5/3. We keep expecting him to crack it, and too often there's a sad story afterwards. But this is exactly the sort of race that he's entitled to win, so he is a must-use on all your tickets. No apologies, got the job done for us last time. Coastal Commander should enjoy this longer route, stretching out to a mile. And Lindbergh has recorded back-to-back figs of 95, but is drawn very wide. Others to consider would be Norshan, Luce Verde, Royal Swan Master, another that you should add to your players. Ran a good race behind Inamorari last time, and that form line has been franked. Arguably the best bet on the card will crop up in race 6. It's a class 4 for fillies and mares over 1,800 meters, and Wind Runner is placed on top over 5, 10, 12, 13, and 8. That's Passchendaele, Cloud Chaser, Summer Night City, Epicleros, and enchanting choice. And the logic behind Windrunner is that she just cruised home last time. She could have won by much further if required. She looks to be a really progressive master of my fate filly who is adept over middle distances, and crucially she could be slightly underrated by the official handicap at this stage if you look at that penultimate run behind Red Palace. Then maybe Windrunner is a bit better than an OMR of 88. She's a good nick. Maybe she can double up. Race 7 could be at the mercy of Hold My Hand if you take the best weighted category literally. She towers above stablemate Flower of Saigon, who in turn is 8 points clear of Virginia Sweet, Silver Links and Royal Invitation. The problem with Hold My Hand is she's just a one-time winner from 14 starts. She's a deep closer. She needs a strong early pace, and then she finishes off her race neatly, and she's been competing at a high level. Places in the Cape Oaks, the SA filly Skinnies, the Woollavington, the Oaks up in Scottsville, and then a good seasonal debut when returning back to the Cape. And she ran a length and a half off Sarki. So the issue with Hold My Hand, apart from her low win rate, is her running style. Fourie has won on her before, so that's encouraging. There is pace on the inside. Royal Invitation, Silver Links, Supreme Dream, they might just tee it up for the well-weighted Hold My Hand. But I'm not sure that I'd be piling into skinny odds about Glenn Cotson's Gold Standard filly. Another one to use, perhaps Flower of Saigon, stablemate, on her day can produce a pretty swift finish. And then the lurker is Future Girl. If you look back to that run in the middle of May, when she closed ground late behind Lady Silvana, she got a competitive enough speed figure, and even though she appears way out of it at the weights, Future Girl could be your exotic tote buster. Race 8, tough race, 3, 9, 10, and 15. That's the rather venturesome shortlist. You may prefer to have much wider cover in a Class 4 fillies and mares over 1,400 meters. Trip to Maputo has run successive figures of 93 and 91. Little Miss Pink, the elusive Fort mare, generally runs close to 90. Busy Lizzie, likewise, on back form, and maybe the blinkers will get her to shine up. Senora Victoria, now with Eric Sands from Glenn Puller's stable, has a terrible draw to overcome, but a competitive speed figure of 90 attained behind Go Like Flow. Then a hellishly hard finale, race 9, a Class 4 over 1,200 meters. 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10 are the horses that I'll be focusing on, and perhaps number 2, Steadfast, could be a value play. Really good when beating Coastal Commander in heavy ground back in July. Just check to see how Coastal Commander does earlier in the card, and then had the come along look after finishing midfield in a stronger race behind Inamorari, primed third run after break, well drawn, handicapped with a chance. So Steadfast looks interesting. Lines Crossed ran well behind All About Our last time, despite a slow start. 8, Mighty Mac is in good form. Winter Pearl comes off a career best. And Wyag is very hard to catch right. He's a bit of a swing. He mixes his form. On his best, he could come dashing through. Note the blinkers strike. So that is the roundup for Saturday's meeting. It's a tough card. You'll need to be very sharp with your handicapping, but there's definite potential.